Hi everybody, so today's video is the I Love Palettes tag, and I'm really excited about this one because it's kind of a holiday shopping guide, really, and it kind of lets us know what great palettes are out there, things that maybe we've seen or haven't seen before, or maybe even haven't gotten the chance to try out for ourselves. I have loved every single version of this video I have seen so far because I absolutely love eyeshadows, and I love to see what everybody else's favorite palettes are and why their favorite palettes are that. Everybody has different tastes and everybody's always looking for something that pertains to their taste for whatever reason, something that they need in their collection. So that's why I've absolutely loved watching all these. My palette tag will be a cruelty-free palette tag, so I leave out any palettes that you guys have been wanting to get your hands on or are curious about. That could be why. Or I haven't gotten the chance to try the palette myself. So based on what I have here, let us begin. So for the best packaging, I have the Too Faced Boudoir Eyes palette. It's tiny, it's travel friendly, it is made of tin, so your eyeshadows will not crack on the go, or even if you're picking this up because you're on vacation and you're at a Sephora away from home and you want to bring this home with you, it will do well on the airplane because it's so compact, sturdy, tiny, packs lovely 9 eyeshadows, doesn't have a glaring mirror or anything like that, so if you want a mirror you will have to, bring one obviously. There's little eyeshadow cards in here, so if you're strapped for ideas, you have that as well. 9 shadows, very wearable colors, day, night, whatever. Super great one to have. If you're living in an area where I do, where there's earthquakes, of course you want the sturdier boxes. There's no reason that the Boudoir Eyes palette should be the only one, or could be the only one with tin packaging. There's nothing about the word boudoir that says tin. So I really do hope in the future that they will start packaging or repackaging all of their Too Faced palettes in this nice sturdier case. Best color Payoff. Now I'm not sure if you would really call Inglot Freedom System palettes a palette, but since the brand does, to me it's very much a palette. You get to create your own, and for me they are the most pigmented eyeshadows right now in the cruelty-free market. They are just like, they're buttery, but they're also a little bit powdery. So that being said, they're not gonna glide up and get creamy inside any of your eye creases. They're just going to sit still and be very smooth and beautiful on the lid. I think that these are perfect for people who have aging or problematic skin, or even younger people, so you can, play around with all the fun, really cool colors. But of course they also have gorgeous neutrals if you are not a fan of color whatsoever. I have definitely 1,000,001 neutrals from Inglot. The glitter that sits inside the Inglot colors is very soft, and while it does transfer from the pan to the eyes, it's really up to you how much glitter you want to be shown. Obviously, packing it on heavily is going to allow the glitter to transfer from palette to face, but just lightly tapping it on or blending it on, you're not going to see so much glitter. Case in point, this is gold glitter. There's gold glitter in here, but you just don't see it as much. I think also having a little bit of a glitter versus a matte is what allows this to sit so beautifully on the skin, so that it deflects rather than all the dry matte shadows kind of getting stuck in the creases of your eyes. You pretty much just need to slide your brush around a couple times, or your finger a couple times, or just kind of tap it in, and you've picked up so much product as it is already. Of course you can apply it almost pretty much the same as you would any other shadows, but of course you don't want to kick up too much product or dust and hit pan prematurely. These are super silky, soft, and smooth. Even their face powders are kind of similar to that, so you don't want to use very heavy, dense brushes because you'll be wasting your product. This versatile palette is the Too Faced Natural Eye Palette. This you can pretty much wear for any time. It has 3 mattes ranging from super pale, highlighter, transition, and of course like an outer corner or eyeliner color, to a nice shimmery soft kitten type of shade, to a nice nut brown, to a nice cool tone dark brown, and then of course a nice shimmery night glitter that is a little bit more easy to apply than Midnight Cowboy and stays on better. It's got a little bit more base tone than Midnight Cowboy. It'd be the most versatile, cool, warm, highlight, matte, shimmer, some glitter. So I think that having a palette like this allows you so much versatility. If you were taking this on vacation, you could just take a little bit of a fun colored pigment and like a sample jar and carry that and just use these colors to transition and work around that. So you can always use this to play along with other products as well. It's just a nice, very versatile palette of basics and really soft wearable color. Travel would pretty much be any Too Faced palette in my book. I've already kind of specifically called out Too Faced Boudoir Eyes, Too Faced Natural at Night for versatility, the Too Faced, the Too Faced Natural Eye for versatility, Too Faced Natural at Night for very warm, dark chocolate versatility, and then of course the Mad Eye palette. I think that these are beautiful for travel because the case is so small. It's not going to take up any space in your bag at the airport whatsoever. There's no loose pigments that the airline has to sift through to see if you're smuggling. None of that. They're all pressed. I think pressed is the best way to go. If I had to travel with 3, which I have, I would probably go ahead and take the Too Faced Natural Eye, the Too Faced Boudoir Eye, and I would honestly take the Too Faced Natural at Night. I truly realize this leaves me no real room for color, but I would honestly get the most use out of these travel babies than anything else, considering I probably use these two the least. Biggest regret. Now this might seem like kind of not right coming from me, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. The Urban Decay Vice palette. Now I picked this up because I really wanted to show some good faith in Urban Decay. After the whole China thing, I really felt in my heart that they did not make themselves look good. But when they said that they weren't going to sell to China due to the backlash, I felt for a slight chance that they were listening and might be truly sorry for some of the statements that they posted online. And it just turns out that because they were going to be losing their Leaping Bunny symbol, that was not going to sit well with them. So they kind of slid around it. And in my personal opinion, selling to L'Oreal, the biggest conglomerate animal offender, just is really shady. Sorry. I picked up this palette, spent a lot of money on it because they turned the other cheek. I felt if I gave Urban Decay money, that they would keep with their cruelty-free customer, and I put my money in good faith with them that they listened for once, because I know that this company can be quite stubborn, and I feel like that did me no good. I know now once and for all that they are truly stubborn, and just, I mean, like any other company, I truly get that they just want money. I truly understand that. Money is money, and you can't be business if you don't got it. And I understand that this is a personal issue that I have with them, and it may not be everybody else's. I know so many people love Urban Decay, and I know a million people bought the Naked 3, and I totally have nothing against you. It's just that I just don't think Urban Decay can be trusted in terms of keeping their word. My biggest regret has been this palette, not just because they sold to L'Oreal, but I've barely used this, and look at that. This has been sitting in my drawer, and it is creating dust, not collecting. And to be honest, now that I've stopped wearing Urban Decay, it makes my eyes itch when I wear it, and that's another huge reason why I don't wear I don't do any Face of the Days really with Urban Decay anymore, because it makes my eyes itch like crazy. So this was definitely my biggest, most biased regret. Names. I would honestly have to go with the Josie Moran I Love You Too palette, and the reason I am is because I think it's just so cute. It's just so cute. So this palette basically has Campfire, Rejuvenate, Dragonfly, and Chirp, and then the bottom row has Bunny, Cinnamon, Meadow, and Branch. It's just so simple and yet so adorable. And aside from that, these colors are definitely very wearable. They're very comfortable on the eyes. You can make a million different looks with this palette. It's slim, nice metal case, big honking mirror. The only reason I would not include this in a travel friendly one is because it does feel a lot more fragile than my some of my other palettes do. Eyeshadows are soft and silky and infused with argan oil. The pigmentation has a lightweightness to it because Josie Moran always has like very wearable style colors, and that's just kind of her aesthetic. So keeping in mind with her aesthetic, I actually really do think this palette's totally adorable. Used, and I'm gonna go with the Too Faced Matte Eye on this one, and it's because these eyeshadows are a little dry, not when you buy them, but later on. This palette does age the most, and it's very hard for me to buff these out. They crease kind of bad on me at this point. I've only had this palette for I think a couple years. Yeah, a couple years, and it's just a very hard one for me to work with. So I would probably have to go with least used, because after the first year of having this, it did definitely age. For the most used, I would definitely have to go with the Too Faced Romantic Eye. I've had this longer than any of my other palettes, and it's just full of color and neutral and some shimmer and some matte. Dark and light bridal palette, and I'm wearing Soulmates today, Bouquet Toss, I do Honeymoon, and Ever After today, and it just all the colors pretty much work very well together. I think I've even tried to use this palette all together, but it's just, you know, it's a very useful, very springtime happy palette. So I've had it longer than any of my other Too Faced palettes, so definitely the most used. For most loved, it would be this particular palette that I built over at Inglot, and it is pretty much full of neutrals, purple, blue, and I've definitely used this the most because it's got pretty much very warm neutrals, but one very cool, another very cool at the bottom, a nice coral shade. These two are about to hit pan, a nice sparkly black, and I love purple on myself, so this is definitely, like, you know, one of my favorite palettes I've ever built for myself. They don't make these little circle pans anymore, but you can get these colors in the square. I'll list these in the bottom bar for you so you know which colors I'm talking about. It's used in Desert Island are two different things. Clearly I don't need this large magnetic palette with the purples and the shimmer every day, but I would definitely have to say the most Desert Island-y palette I have here is the Too Faced Natural Eye, which kind of coincides with the most versatile as well. If I could pick one of my palettes to take with me and only one, it would be this, for being travel friendly, for being versatile, for just being something that I can get the most use out of and never feel like I didn't have enough colors. So that would definitely be the Desert Island. I pretty much wore this palette all last week when I didn't feel like wearing too much else because I wasn't feeling very well not too long ago. So yeah, I would definitely have to go with that as being my Desert Island. I hope that you guys enjoyed my most loved palette tag, and I will tag some people in the bottom bar if you're interested in doing it. Look to see if I put your name down below, and if I did not, you're welcome to say I tagged you, or just go ahead and do it, whatever. Anyways, I hope that you enjoyed, and thank you so much for watching.